Welcome, welcome. Chris here with the trades back for another set of stocks for the week ahead. Big movement on Friday, big pullback on price. We're looking at SPY. So the question here, the question here for this week and going forward, are we in a pullback to buy, or is this a correction? We don't know. We won't know until it plays out. But looking at the charts, I'm looking at seven tickers, seven big boy tickers that are pulled back, and according to the chart, according to my analysis, what I'm looking for are set, and they look great for entries for swing trades long. So SPY, looking at the SPY, the market here, and this is one of my tickers on my list for sure. SPY, big pullback down into this natural level of support, came crashing down. I like to see it come down really a little further. Actually, I'd like to see it come down to this level right here, 731.81. Like to see it come down a little further into there for the bounce. That would technically break this sort of chart pattern, but just slightly. That's fine. It's within risk. Certainly, we'll see where we open on Monday. I would not be surprised to see a gap down on all of these. And if this thing just gaps down, it's probably off for the long. But it is the market. You can never really go wrong buying into the market slow, dollar cost averaging. But I'm looking for entries for swing. So I'm going to be a buyer down into this range here, 1 or 2%, where we had this low. I've had this level marked for a while for the move back up potentially. Anyone's guess here. I mean, these things could just all just crash, and we could just be heading down for correction. But if it's a pullback, this is what I'm looking for. So SPY is first one on my list. Also, as well is Q's, same exact thing, coming right down into this natural level. I'd like to see it maybe come down to this 695 level. Give a little room to bounce off this level. I would actually take this red line and move it down here. That's where I'd like to see it come and bounce potentially, or just hold this level and just move straight on up. So Q's. Also on the list is Tesla, none other than Tesla, if I can just bring that up. Tesla here. I love trading Tesla. I'm a big buyer and believer of Tesla. I this to me, I'm all over this on Friday. I was scaling in. I'm going to keep going on Monday, see where we bounce. Stochastic, like the rest, down nice and low, down into this natural level of support. Wouldn't be surprised to see it come down to 366 though. So I'm going to be a buyer into that range on Tesla. Also, AMD have been moving up big. We got a nice pullback. Looking for strong stocks like AMD to get involved with them. For me, I'm looking for a pullback, an entry point, and this is what this looks like to me. It's not surprising that it came down to this level where we got this high over here. So I'm going to see where we open on Monday on AMD. I'm going to give it some room though. I'm going to let this thing play out. I'd be a buyer all the way down into this lower level here. That's 15%. I'm going to keep buying in slow if it wants to come down to that level. There's a gap down here to keep your eye out for. It could easily come all the way down here. But AMD is a strong company. I like it. So I'm just going to basically improve my position on the way down on this. Also on the list is Microsoft as well. Microsoft, another big boy, big pullback on Friday from these highs. Like to see where we open on Monday, but I'm going to be a buyer into this range down into about here. That's 4 or 5%. Looking for the push back up into this range here, into these recent highs as well, 11 or 12%. So we'll see what Microsoft wants to do. I like that one. Also looking at Intel as well, another big boy. It broke this level, came crashing down, but we still got this sort of chart telling me the natural level of support is down around in this range here. Stochastic is super low. Risk is going to be wide on all of these, but these are strong companies, so I don't mind taking averages, pricing myself in, averaging in slowly to get a better position. So I'd be a buyer into this range, 10%, looking for the move and the hold back up. Of course, could run 20% or so. Intel's been hot lately. And finally, looking at XLK technology ETF, been moving up like the rest, pulling back, stochastic hard and fast coming down. It's one of these things where if you want to be involved in the technology sector, you buy an ETF. You see it push way up, you don't want to go start chasing after it. You're looking for an entry, and this is what we look. This is what I see. I see an entry here at this point. So anything could happen. It could easily come down, test this lower level down here, but that's only 5-6%. So I'm going to be a buyer for this one too, looking to see if it wants to hold and move back up. Again, the question here: is it a correction? Is it a pullback? We just don't know. Do the best we can. Happy trading.